In Dragon Age the Veilguard, there are 6 factions players can align with during character creation: the Antivan Crows, Grey Wardens, Lords of Fortune, Mourn Watch, Shadow Dragons, and Veil Jumpers. Your choice of faction doesn't just impact your past, it's a deep narrative choice that explains who your character was, how they met Varric, and why they abandoned their faction to follow him. Unlike previous entries in the series, where your backstory was tied to race, Veilguard takes a different approach. Your faction now plays a major role in shaping the story. It means your protagonist's origin is much more dynamic, not just race, but class and background combined to create a more personalised journey. This not only affects gameplay, but the very way the world interacts with you. Sure, race will still have some influence over dialogue options and how others perceive your character, but this time around, it's your background and faction choice that bring the biggest changes to the main story. There are even whispers that these choices can shift the entire continent's balance of power. In this video, we'll dive into each of these backgrounds, break down what makes the factions tick, and explore how these early game choices will impact Veilguard's world, story, and the protagonist. The Antivan Crows, an elite guild of spies, thieves, and assassins, are feared across Thedas. They started as an arm of the Chantry, born from a group of monks who used poison to take down a despotic duke in Treviso. Over centuries, the Crows have built a deadly reputation, and their power now rivals that of Antiva's nobility. Their word is law. Failure is death. Contracts are everything to the Crows. If an assassin fails to eliminate a target, their own life is forfeit. Honor isn't necessarily common among criminals, but the Crows have their own strict code. Their clients are often Antiva's elite, but nations far beyond have hired them too. Their fearsome reputation has, on more than one occasion, deterred invasion, as no one wants to risk provoking this shadowy organisation. When a contract is taken, a single master usually handles it. But if they fail, others can step in to finish the job, sometimes even hiring multiple Crows to ensure success, though that's incredibly expensive. There's only one known instance where an entire house was hired to finish a job. The Crows also run Velabanchel, a notorious prison dubbed the House of Graves. This is where they incarcerate people for fun and torture, reinforcing their power through terror. Their hierarchy is complex, imitating the great noble families of Thedas. The top ranks include the Talons, who lead the organisation, followed by guildmasters who oversee entire houses. The Talons themselves represent elite assassin houses, and only a select few can ever rise to these ranks without familial connections. Houses like Delamort, Balazar, Arenai, and others hold sway over the political and criminal landscape. Choosing the Antivan Crows faction means your protagonist has lived a life of espionage and lethal precision, carving out a name in the criminal underworld. This background offers specialised skills in assassination and political manipulation, as well as a deep network of underworld contacts. Lucanus, one of your companions in the Veilguard, hails from the Crows too. He's the grandson of Caterina della Morte, the first Talon, and a master assassin who has taken down 40 targets in one mission alone. But the Crows are in turmoil. After a Qunari invasion and internal betrayals, several Talons are dead, including Lucanus, who is, of course, not actually dead, but will be a critical part of your journey. As a former Crow, your character will find themselves caught in the power struggles of Antiva. Will you choose loyalty to your former house, or will you forge your own path? The Grey Wardens, one of the most iconic factions in Dragon Age, are a legendary order dedicated to fighting Darkspawn. Founded during the First Blight, the Wardens have been at the forefront of every blight that's threatened Thedas. To become a Warden, one must survive the joining, a dangerous ritual where the recruit drinks Darkspawn blood. Those who survive gain resistance to the taint and the ability to sense Darkspawn, but it comes at a terrible cost. Death by the taint is inevitable. The Wardens operate semi-autonomously across different nations, but all report to Weishaupt Fortress in Anderfels. They have the authority to conscript anyone, be it royalty or criminal, into their ranks. This absolute power ensures they always have the numbers to fight the Darkspawn, though they use it carefully to avoid political fallout. Choosing the Grey Wardens as your faction ties you to one of the most respected and feared organisations in Thedas. You'll be part of a group with a storied history and the weight of the world on your shoulders. As a Warden, your character has extensive knowledge of the Blight and Darkspawn, and they may have personal connections to key characters from previous games. Developers have even hinted that familiar faces like the Inquisitor may return. But the Grey Wardens are not without their problems. Something dark is stirring at Weishaupt, and rumours of sentient Darkspawn only add to the growing tension. The Warden's actions in Inquisition nearly led to catastrophe, and while the Inquisitor managed to avert disaster, the consequences still hang over the Order. The Wardens have also managed to bring back griffins, their ancient mounts, and have learned of the locations of two old gods, Razikale and Lusican. But if Darkspawn get to them first, and another old god becomes corrupted, the next blight may be on the horizon. Choosing this faction may thrust your character into the heart of the Warden's struggles, with major implications for the fate of Thedas. Not much is known about the Lords of Fortune yet, but one thing is clear: they're among the best treasure hunters in Thedas. Whether it's recovering valuable artifacts from ancient ruins, or taking down dangerous monsters for a bounty, the Lords of Fortune are always on the hunt for the next great find. They've even been known to steal from the rich, turning their heists into legendary tales. Known for their colourful attire and extravagant displays of wealth, the Lords of Fortune are flashy, but only the most successful live long enough to wear their treasure. Their expertise extends beyond just treasure hunting. They're also adept at offering protection to wealthy patrons who join them on their dangerous expeditions. Choosing the Lords of Fortune faction will make your character an experienced treasure hunter, skilled in combat and exploration. You'll cross paths with Ta'ash, a warrior companion who shares your love for adventure and danger. The Mourn Watch is an elite branch of the Mortalitasi, the necromancers of Nevarra. These mages hold a powerful position within Nevarran society, responsible for preserving and mummifying the bodies of the Nevarran elite. But their influence doesn't stop at death. They also guide spirits and ensure the dead remain at peace within the Grand Necropolis. The Mourn Watch acts as guardians of the dead, wielding necromantic magic to bind spirits and control corpses. Outside of Nevarra, however, they are feared. Many believe they perform macabre rituals in secret, raising questions about the true nature of their power. Choosing the Mourn Watch will give your character unique abilities related to the dead and the Fade. Their ties to Nevarran culture and the Mortalitasi will shape how others perceive them, and may even bring them into conflict with Solas, who view spirits and necromancy in a very different light. Emmerich Volkerin, a mage companion, represents this faction and will bring his own dark knowledge to your party. The Veil Jumpers are a faction of explorers, dedicated to uncovering the secrets hidden in the ruins of ancient elven civilization. Their primary focus is on the Arlathan Forest, a place warped by magic and filled with dangers that defy reality. But the Veil Jumpers are not afraid. They thrive on the thrill of exploring the unknown. Choosing the Veil Jumpers means your character is a bold adventurer, someone who is intimately familiar with the ancient elven lore and magic. Your character will have unique interactions with the mysteries of the Fade and elven history, opening up special dialogue options with Bellara, a mage companion who also hails from this faction. The Shadow Dragons are a covert resistance group operating in Tevinter, fighting against corruption from within the Empire. Their primary target, the Venatori, a blood cult deeply embedded in Tevinter's ruling class. As a Shadow Dragon, your character is a master of subterfuge, rebellion, and espionage. This faction brings rich narrative depth, especially in Tevinter's capital, Minrathous. Your protagonist's skills will focus on navigating the political intricacies of Tevinter, striking at the heart of Venatori operations. Neve Gallus, a fellow Shadow Dragon, joins your journey, and their shared history enhances the faction's importance. Choosing your faction isn't just a matter of aligning with the group. It's a core part of your character's identity, shaping how the story unfolds and how you interact with the world. Each of the 6 factions, the Antivan Crows, Grey Wardens, Lords of Fortune, Mourn Watch, Shadow Dragons, and Veil Jumpers, offers unique narrative depth, specialized skills, and compelling connections to the broader political landscape of Thedas. Your decision will reverberate throughout the game, influencing alliances, enemies, and the fate of entire nations. If you enjoyed the video, want to see more, and help support the channel, you can hit the join button to find out more on how to do it. Your support helps the channel grow and is always greatly appreciated.